Hi guys, I'm here now to replace the glass. I think I mentioned it early in the piece that I've got to replace the glass. There's a crack in it due to people grabbing the top of the window and pulling the door shut, and that's what happens after pressurising it so much and wetting cars. You get anybody doing the wrong thing and they just grab it wrongly instead of the handle. They should always use the handle to close the door, and gently and not slamming. They are old cars still. Now what we're going to do, we're going to remove the frame, and I've noticed you know, the actual rubber here that normally sits underneath, it actually takes the water away from the mechanism and away from the actual cardboard on the inside. It makes the water hit the glass on the outside and run down and run off this bit of a rubber that sits on the bottom. On the four-door hardtop, they're riveted on, which is really inconvenient because once it breaks off, you can't put them back on because they're riveted. And normally the two-door coupe, they've got a slot like this. This is a two-door coupe. You can buy the rubber, and it sits in that frame, and it sits in there, the glass, and there's your flap that sits on the outer skin of your door. So when the rain hits the glass, runs off, runs to the outer skin, runs down the skin and runs to drain holes down the bottom. Where these four-door hardtops are much different. They're actually riveted on the bottom. So I've been slowly cutting all the glass rubber to remove it all, and I've removed this one. There's two screws in the back, and that's the riveted ones that I was talking to you about. I'll see if I could bring this up so you could see what I mean. Let's just zoom that up a little bit. Yeah, see what I mean by that rivet type rubber that sits there. Yeah, it's and it gets very brittle and hard. You see, it's broken off, and just to get it out of the window, it was beast, you know, because it pulls up on the channel, and it sits like that. That rubber just broke off, sits like that, and of course when you're pulling up the window, it just snaps off because it's so brittle. To replace that, we're going to use another bit of rubber because you can't buy them, and lay it out there. I might aerodiet it in, sticker flex it in. You know, that's the only way you're going to do it because it's riveted in. But we'll show you that later on when I've completed that. And at the moment, what you do here is you take off this frame. So I've been cutting all the way around, and I've sort of pried that a little bit, so it should come out reasonably well. Once you knock this side out, you don't want to bend them because they're very fragile because of the stainless steel sort of go there. It's an easy knot. I recommend to take that off first because that is a gutter. Picks up the water on the inside of the window. When it runs on the inside of the window, it runs down the water channels there, all the water off, you see. So that's the corner there. Now, better off taking that off. That way you've got a bit of, you've got this frame that's loosened off, and we could try to, if I could bring that back a little bit, knock that out a bit. And I'm in the right position. Wreck the chrome if you can. There's a little bit more, you know, I could feel a bit of the rubber still grabbing, so I'll be tackling that a bit more, and I'll get back to you. Well, we've still got this glass out now, and that's how you get the frame out. After cutting so much of this rubber here away, that was put in 26 years ago. I did it, and it held real well. And we've replaced this glass because of this crack here. You probably could see this crack here. I don't know if you can see it. And just because of that crack there, yeah, I'm replacing the glass before I put it all back in with the electric windows. So we've got all those in place, and I'll show you how we do the rubbers, well, how I'm going to do the rubber on the bottom of the this arm here and the frame. So it's going to be, it will be completed in due time. See you next scene. Yeah, g'day guys. Now we've got the glass out, and we're going to try to fit it into this frame here, this glass that slides into there. What I've used is this rubber that you buy for the glass. It's in a roll, and you can see this is a smaller one, and I'll put it together. Now all you do is just roll it out, and then fold it over. You cut your slot there, and you stick it together. Now it doesn't stick. You've got to use. I clamped it all down so it keeps the shape overnight. And then all you need is Kero. You dab the Kero in there and start, cleaning, putting Kero all over it, soften it up all the way around, and some inside the frame. And that's how you then start pushing it in. And you need a rubber mallet to give it a persuader. And we'll get all this in soon. Pretty hard to film with and show you, but that's all the gear that you need to fit it all in. It's a bit of a pain. Then I'm going to make this rubber that was broken off, like I mentioned, out of this other rubber that was off the same what you get from the coupe. We're going to use some sticker flex to use to put it in because of the pop rivets there, and we'll use a bit of that sticker flex there that you can buy for it goes hard and it doesn't move. Anyway, we'll show you the results as we go along. Yeah, put some of that Kero on there, all the way around the rubber, so it will slide in, and cures afterwards. It swells it up, and then you just give it a bit of a. You can see it's going in. It's going in on its own, and you can see the result of the rubber pulling in, and some of it torn off actually around the back, which you got to try to avoid that. But it was wrapped right around, and now it's pulled right in. Now we're going to do the top. So that's another dirty old job. That's it. Yeah, right. So we've just fixed the rest of the frame in, pushed it all into the rubbers, and I've just poured some sticker flex along here. It's just a tiny bit, just to look at a bit. It's a dirty old job. Sticker flex, you get everywhere, you go everywhere, but there's just a hole, that bottom rubber. Now that bottom rubber is the rubber that normally goes onto a coupe, which is, I've cut the excess off because the coupes are longer. And if you look at the actual rubber, it's got a bit of a step in it. That's normally, it sits in there. That's where normally glass sits in there, and that rubber sticks out. What I've done, I've used this, and I've slotted put slots in where the rivets are, here, there, every distance, and I've actually poked it in, pushed it in, so it sits out and it'll flap up. So when the rain comes down, it rushes off it. It's been slotted and pushed in and sticker flexed on there, that stuff there, and it works a treat. The pop rivet sort of works still well because individually held together, and that's that window completed. And that's one part of that I wish I didn't have to do again, because it's a big job, the replacement of glass. So we'll continue on with the installation of the windows. Yep, and they're the 2 windows I've done. Works a treat. Both of them sticking up, and both are done. Also, while you've got your tracks out, all pulled apart in your windows, I've cleaned them all up with Kero, so all the old grease you get rid of, so you can apply new grease on it when you install it, and it'll run nice and smooth with the wheels running up and down, not jamming with electric motors. So yeah, bit of a clean up.